Attention passionate Seattle Seahawks fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Seattle Seahawks' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Seattle Seahawks fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Seattle SEAHAWKS fans. Let's get to the news now. Folks, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you could shake the entire NFC West and send shockwaves through the league. Rumors are swirling that the San Francisco 49ers, currently sitting at a pretty solid 7-4 record, are contemplating making a seismic move that might redefine their defense. And it involves none other than Fred Warner, the heart and soul of their linebacker core. Now, I know what you're thinking. Warner is a top-tier linebacker, a cerebral leader on the field, and a guy who's been instrumental in the 49ers' recent success. But sources close to the team suggest that San Francisco could be ready to part ways with him, trading him for a second-round pick in the 2026 draft. Why? Well, the 49ers are facing some pressing financial constraints, and after some injuries in their secondary, they're prioritizing cap space, around $15 million, so they can beef up their offensive line and shore up their secondary for the stretch run. The trade, if it happens, would be a bold move by the 49ers, who are known for their aggressive approach, but it's also a risky gamble. The team's defense, allowing around 9 points per game, has shown some cracks, especially in their run defense. Post-deadline, with the trade window closing on November 4th, this is still just speculation, but ESPN's Adam Schefter recently mentioned that there's some discontent within the 49ers' locker room regarding their run defense, which has leaked some frustration. Warner, the elite linebacker with 8 years of NFL experience, boasts over 600 tackles, more than 10 interceptions, and a PFF grade that's consistently above 90. He's a guy who can truly anchor a defense as a maestro against the pass, and for a team like the Seahawks, that's exactly the kind of player who can make a difference. Think about it. Fred Warner is not just a linebacker, he's a game changer. His ability to read plays, drop into coverage, and stuff the run makes him one of the most complete defenders out there. Last season, despite missing some games due to a hip injury, Warner still managed 28 solo tackles, 23 assists, and forced 2 fumbles. His overall PFF grade of 85.6 places him firmly in the top 5 among linebackers, and his run defense grade of 82. 3 and pass coverage success rate of 80% are elite numbers. When you compare him to current Seahawks linebackers, who are struggling, say, a PFF grade around 70, adding Warner would immediately boost the Seahawks' total tackles by over 50, improve coverage EPA by around 15%, and cut opposing pass yards from roughly 200 yards a game to closer to 160. That's a game changer for a defense that's been solid but not quite enough against the league's top offenses. And let's not forget the ripple effect this could have on the NFC West. The Seahawks, with their current defense allowing only around 3 points per game, have been proving to be tough, but the addition of a player like Warner could elevate their unit into a true lockdown defense. His presence would boost their third down defense from about 39.8% to nearly 46%, and give them a real edge against NFC West rivals like the 49ers and RAMS. Imagine pairing Warner with Quan Alexander, who's had a significant impact on the Saints' defense, especially in pass coverage and creating turnovers. That duo could be the difference maker in a division that's already fierce with offensive powerhouses like McCaffrey, Kittle, and the 49ers' dynamic passing game. The Seahawks could then focus on shutting down those crucial third downs and forcing turnovers, which is exactly what helps teams elevate in the playoffs. Now, looking at the bigger picture, this potential trade isn't just about immediate impact. It's about shaping the future of the division. The Seahawks, currently sitting at 7-3, are in a prime position to make a serious playoff push, especially if they shore up their linebacker core with a veteran like Warner. His addition would not only improve their run defense, which has been lacking at times, but also give them that veteran presence in the middle, a guy who can be the mastermind of the defense, calling plays and adjusting on the fly. The Seahawks' defense has been surprisingly solid this year, holding opponents to just under 20 points per game, but they've struggled against the run, especially after losing Quan Jones to injury. Warner, with his proven ability to stuff the run and cover tight ends and running backs, would be a perfect fit to fill that gap and bring a new level of consistency and intelligence to the unit. And then there's the emotional and psychological boost. Having a player of Warner's caliber, someone who's been a cornerstone for the 49ers defense, would send a message across the league. Seattle is serious about contending, and they're willing to make bold moves to get there. The NFC West has been one of the most competitive divisions in recent years, with the 49ers often taking the spotlight. But if the Seahawks can pull off this move, it could level the playing field dramatically. Imagine a linebacker core featuring Warner and Brooks, both of whom are known for their leadership and instinctive playmaking. That's a defense that could strike fear into any offense, especially come playoff time. Now I know that trading away a player like Warner would raise eyebrows. He's a franchise player, a true leader. But the NFL is a business, and teams are always looking for ways to improve their roster and financial flexibility. For the Seahawks, this could be an opportunity to add a top-tier linebacker without giving up major future assets. It's a move that could accelerate their Super Bowl window, especially considering how competitive the NFC is this year. The Eagles, 49ers, and Cowboys are all formidable, but with Warner in their ranks, Seattle could become a real dark horse, especially if they tighten up their run defense and capitalize on their offensive weapons. Speaking of the Seahawks' current roster, they've been doing well on offense, with Geno Smith leading an efficient attack and players like Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf providing explosive plays. But the defense remains the key to sustained success. Adding a player like Warner would create a domino effect, making the entire unit more confident and aggressive. The Seahawks have a lot to play for this season, and a move like this could be the final piece they need to push past the NFC's elite and make a real run to the Super Bowl. And finally, let's talk about the division. The 49ers might be feeling the pressure now. They're trying to stay ahead, but if the Seahawks land Warner, they're not just adding a linebacker. They're adding a leader, a playmaker, and a guy who can turn games around with his instinct and intelligence. The NFC West is already one of the toughest divisions in football, and this potential move could be what tips the scales. Seattle's fans have every reason to be excited. This isn't just a rumor. It's a strategic move that could reshape the entire division and ultimately the league. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Seattle Seahawks news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. So where do we go from here? Well, if the Seahawks manage to pull this off, it would be a game changer. The team's front office has shown that they're willing to be bold when the opportunity presents itself. They've been building this team for a playoff run, and adding Warner could be the final piece to their puzzle. It's about making a statement that Seattle is here not just to compete, but to dominate. The NFC West, which has been dominated by the 49ers in recent years, could see a new power rise, one that's tough, smart, and relentless. This move also sets a precedent for the league teams are willing to shake things up. And in today's NFL, flexibility and boldness often win championships. Warner's leadership, combined with the Seahawks' current core, could create a defense that's not just good but downright fearsome. Imagine the impact on the playoff seeding, the matchups, and the confidence of this Seahawks squad as they push toward the postseason. Of course, trades like this aren't simple. They involve a lot of negotiations, salary cap considerations, and strategic planning. But if there's one thing Seahawks fans know, it's that this franchise has always been about resilience, innovation, and a relentless desire to win. If Warner becomes a Seahawk, it would symbolize that mindset perfectly. It would show that the team is committed to doing whatever it takes to bring another Lombardi Trophy home, to keep the city of Seattle proud, and to carve their name into NFL history once again. And now, Seattle Seahawks fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and the Seattle Seahawks. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Seattle Seahawks news.